All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video where we give our thoughts on where exactly we think Rick actually is. Is he at the Commonwealth? Is he in a new community? All around some predictions for The Walking Dead's 2020 movie. Alright, so the first question that inspired this video came from a viewer who said, Trev, do you think that Rick is at the Commonwealth? Now, this is likely the community that Maggie is currently at right now in the Walking Dead television series, going into The Walking Dead Season 10. So the simple answer to that one is no, I do not think that Rick is at the same community right now that Maggie is at. The Commonwealth with Georgie, if that is in fact what we're seeing with Georgie in this group in the Walking Dead television series, which it seems like it. Likely they seem to be a group of good guys. They seem like they're pretty good people, and they don't seem like somebody that would trade resources for people. A group that would likely do that would trade resources for people like Ann or Jadis has been doing, and it's been confirmed that she actually traded Heath for some resources there back around probably season 7 midway, if you guys remember the episode Swear. So if she's been doing this for a while and this group has kind of been taking people, the question of course becomes, what have they been doing with the people that they've taken? Whether the person's been bitten or not, what has this group been doing, and why would they want people? I think the easiest answer to that is they must be experimenting on people. They must be taking people in, trading the resources for them, and doing experimentation on them to try to find out what it is that causes people to turn into zombies, either when they're bitten or when they die. So if this is the group that Rick has been delivered to, they likely are not pretty good people. They're probably going to be a group of villainous, elitist type of people that do not see others as equals if they're going to be doing mandatory, experimentation on them. And Rick is likely in this kind of a program. So it's also likely that because he has not returned after the 6.5 years, it's close to 7 years now going into The Walking Dead Season 10, 7 years since he was taken by the helicopter and sort of quote-unquote rescued, right? He has not returned. So the only real explanation for this, and the only thing that would keep Rick away from his family, as we see in his final episode, that he's always searching for his family. And I love that about Rick, that in terms of his character, he's a leader type character, but he's always, it seems like he's doomed to always be searching for his family. He starts off the series and he's searching for Carl and Lori, and then finally he finds them. And again, later on in the final episode, he's going back to the same kind of thing. He's searching for his family. And now in the movies as well too, he's been taken away from them again, so yet again he's going to be likely eventually searching for his family. So as such, I think there's nothing that would be able to keep him back from them. There's nothing that would be able to kind of hold him back voluntarily from going and being with Michonne and RJ, which he doesn't even know about, and Judith, and all of the others that are members of his family now, Daryl, his brother, and everybody. So he must be held there captive against his will, or he must not know. I like another theory, which is that when the explosion went off, that he used to kind of save himself, he may have hit his head, so he may have some kind of amnesia, where he doesn't know who he is, he doesn't know where he is, or he doesn't know what's happening. Either of the two of these could explain why he never returned in those 7 years, and likely with how fierce Rick is and his ability to fight his way out of situations, it may be actually both. So over the course of the 3 movies that we're going to see, starting in 2020 with the first movie, we'll likely see him eventually kind of find out who he is again, and then eventually want to go back and find the others. To do this first, he's going to have to escape from, whatever kind of entrapment or encampment he is a part of, if he's down in a bunker, or something similar to what we saw in Day of the Dead, which I really like that theory a lot, because there is the Cardile on the mailbox in his final episode, And so, I really like the idea that maybe, and there's also a helicopter in Day of the Dead, so there's some similarities between the storyline in Day of the Dead and what we're kind of seeing here with Rick. And in the movie, they basically have this bunker down in, and they have this Dr. Frankenstein, who's basically playing with the dead and doing experiments on them to try to understand more about them. In the Walking Dead version, could we see something in the movies that is sort of similar to that, but they're actually experimenting on people that are not even yet turned or are not even yet dead? So my thoughts or my predictions on the movies and what we'll likely see in the first movie and all the way through to the end of the third is, again, Rick trying to, come to his senses, trying to escape this place that he's being experimented on. And Andrew Lincoln has said in interviews over the years that he's very fond of the idea of Rick sort of being the cure or being a cure.
Final shot is, holy shit, maybe I'm the cure.
So I think that this could be worked in with the movies, in that this group could be trying to find a cure for the zombie, virus or whatever's causing people to turn. And so, for him, that'd be kind of a cool sort of superhero-esque type of ending for the character, maybe arc for the characters, that he finds out eventually that maybe with either his blood or something, that he's able to kind of... maybe they're able to formulate a cure or something of the sort like this, or maybe they aren't and they're just looking for it and eventually he wants to go and they tell him he can't and then he has to kind of fight his way out to get out of the place that he's being held at. As such, I don't expect to see him reunited with Michonne or with any of the others in the first movie. I think that one's going to be released in 2020 most likely, as long as it doesn't get pushed back. That, of course, will be kind of in The Walking Dead Season 10, after The Walking Dead Season 10 has just run through, likely before Season 11 has hit. Season 10, of course, is when we know that Michonne is going to be leaving, Denai Guerrero is going to be leaving The Walking Dead television series. So in terms of a time sync-up from the time that they're filming The Walking Dead movie and the time that Michonne's going to be leaving the Walking Dead television series, I don't anticipate or I wouldn't expect to see Rick actually reunited with the group or with Michonne or with RJ or Judith in the first movie. I think the first movie will be focused on him likely escaping. He's probably very far away. Maybe by the end of the movie he'll be out of there. Maybe the second movie you have him kind of come to and he kind of figures out who he actually is. Maybe he doesn't even know his name in the first movie, and because of everything that's happened to him, he doesn't even know what's going on or where he is. Eventually, he comes to his senses in the second movie, and then either in the second movie or the third movie, he's eventually reunited with Michonne, possibly RJ, Judith, Daryl, and we'll have to see about the others. Either way, I think it's a good prediction. I think it makes sense that eventually in the movies, probably the third movie, he will be reunited with those that he cares about, whoever's still standing at that point, whoever's still alive at that time. It'd be really cool to see. I think first has to be Michonne. After that, RJ, maybe Judith. But also, too, very important, it'd be cool to see him reunited with Daryl again, maybe Carol as well, too. I don't know if they could ever, how they would kind of work that out, or if they'll ever be able to do that, because if they do go that route, they have to take Carol and Daryl out of the original Walking Dead television series to have them go to the movies, and then somehow figure out a way to have them kind of separate after that, if they're not ever going to have Rick and Michonne kind of return, you have to have some kind of divide there for some kind of reason, which will be a little bit tricky for them to do. It's going to be difficult for them to kind of work out how that works and make sense for the characters. Because they do feel like a family, eventually you would think that they would all kind of get back together again and all go back into the original Walking Dead television series if they're all surviving. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if Rick survives out all the movies all the way through. Same with Michonne, maybe RJ, and then the others as well too. That's basically it for my answers right now for I think everything we pretty much know on where Rick is, what makes sense, and what we'll likely see in terms of the character and the storylines for the movies. I can't wait to see the movies as much as I'm anticipating Season 10 of The Walking Dead or Fear or any other series. The Walking Dead movie might be my most anticipated release of all time. So leave your comments below. What are your guys' predictions? What do you think makes sense for Rick? Where do you think he is? Why do you think he hasn't returned all these years? And what do you expect we'll see for the trilogy of movies that are coming from AMC starting in 2020? If you guys like this video, and I'd appreciate it if you would do this, please thumb it up below. Please share it. If you got a Facebook and you wouldn't mind sharing through for me, or Twitter, that'd be wicked cool. And if you're new to the channel and you don't know me, or if you've been watching the videos for a little while, while and you haven't subscribed yet, I would really appreciate it. You know, helps out the channel a lot. Please subscribe at the bottom left. Thank you guys all for subscribing. Thank you guys all for watching, and send me any other questions you have for upcoming Walking Dead videos. That's it for this one. See you guys again soon for another. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.